So the market's pulled back, and I want to talk about the reasons why. I want to talk about the predictions that we've been making. I forecast over 12 months ago that Q3 we would see the Fed pivot, and I want to dig into all of the stuff that is happening because I think we're teetering so close to another correct prediction. Let's do it. So we're going to start here. We're going to look at Bitcoin. It plunged 3.7% to $66,870. This article is basically going to sort of talk you through why, but we got the FOMC meeting. We've got the interest rate decision that's going to happen today. So, going into, Q3 is kind of for me, something that's, really exciting, right? I've talked about my thoughts, my opinions, for over 12 months, where I was predicting that Q3 2024 we would see the Fed pivot and we would see an almighty crash in stocks and obviously crypto as well. So everybody's looking for the Fed to pivot, and I think we're ever so close. Trouble with the banks, trouble with commercial real estate. People are really struggling. There's a real lack of liquidity in the market, and people will argue it with me. But we will see what plays out. I don't mind what plays out. I'm positioned for both scenarios, so super excited just to see how things play out. We've got Bitcoin price dip ahead of US inflation report and Fed decision on interest rates. Strong US economic data, if I can get my words out, has led to a decrease in Bitcoin value as markets brace for Fed's decision on lending rates. So the interest rates, right? So what is really interesting is, a lot of people going into this particular, I guess, decision, this meeting, have basically been saying to expect a pause, right? And I'm going to come on to my views and opinions shortly, and I think that that's what they're pricing in at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see what plays out, right? But yeah, it's just really really interesting stuff. So we've got the ETF inflow streak ends. So this is something I was talking about yesterday in the previous video, that actually we've had consecutive inflows for the spot ETF for Bitcoin, and obviously we've had the highest day as well on record. So yeah, really interesting stuff. We got the American elections 2024. US lawmakers call for the Federal Reserve to begin cutting interest rates, and this is where it gets really really juicy, because we are very very close. We're in Q3. We're in that period of time where I was expecting us to have the Fed, I guess, pivot, and I don't think that that's going to happen today. I think that we will get that pause. They will try to eke it out, but I think that it will happen Q3. So I think we're ever so close. Now, I'm expecting a pause. I'm expecting the markets to rally on out of this, I guess, decision. So there's a lot of people telling you that the markets aren't going to like it if they pause. The crypto market's not going to like it if they pause. I beg to differ. I think that we're going to continue to move sideways and upwards. If they decide to pause, it's only at the point that the Fed does the pivot that I expect the crash. Now, obviously, this video could, be completely wrong, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen. But what is really interesting is we are now starting to see lawmakers, the Senate, senior people within the US calling on the Federal Reserve to begin cutting rates. We know there's problems with banks. We know that there's a real struggle with the cost of living, a lack of liquidity. We know this stuff. We're seeing it with altcoins, and the fact that they're not really rallying. We're seeing this with the numbers when it comes to our YouTube channel and the Google Analytics. Really, and I've said this time and time again, we're only really got the people that have always been here throughout the bear market. We're not really seeing lots of new retail coming in, and I think we will. I've said that I don't think we're really in a bull market. We're in that rally up to a Fed pivot, crash, and then the bull market starts. And I think that it could potentially be the longest bull market in history. Again, I've been saying this stuff for over 12 months. We've had a phenomenal couple of years, really, when it comes to the economic predictions. The predictions of we called all of the bottoms in the bear market accurately. We called the FTX crash before it happened. We highlighted the opportunity to I guess short FTT and Solana, for example, and a few other altcoins. People made thousands upon thousands of percent profit on those calls. We went on to say to expect a bear market rally into 2024. We saw that. And we went on to say, we expect the Fed to pivot and there to be a crash in stocks and crypto in Q3 2024. So look, there's only really the one prediction that hasn't actually played out just yet, and that is the Fed pivot and the crash in stocks and crypto. So, excited to see whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong. Either way, I don't really mind. We've been positioning for all of this stuff. I also should add that we did say that it was inevitable that Ethereum was going to get a spot ETF and it was going to be approved. We said that before the approval of a Bitcoin spot ETF, and we were also the first people in the world to talk about the fact that we would have the Ethereum spot ETF, and we would roll out of those two ETFs into ETFs for other altcoins like Solana, XRP, and various others, right? So we were talking about all this stuff. We've now got like Standard Charter and all these other big players talking about the same stuff that we've been talking about before the Bitcoin spot ETF was even approved. So look, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell, select all the notifications. Don't miss any of our video content. Join us in the free Discord. Link is in the description of this video. And make sure that you're able to get in ahead of everybody else, because we were positioning into some of these altcoins before any talk of spot ETF and stuff like that. So our predictions have been immense, and excited to see how things play out with the Fed interest rates. But for me, some of the data would indicate that they're not ready to do it just yet, but they are being encouraged to, and that is something that's really interesting, at least in my eyes anyway. Dortmund, can't get my words out today. Bitcoin wallet moves $536 million after 5 years of just basically no movement, right? So why do I talk about this? There's going to be a lot of people that have, basically been given crypto back because, of some of the scams, and they're being reunited with their Bitcoin. There will be, people that, forgot they had Bitcoin, and they've had it for 5, 10, maybe longer years. And, it's gone up significantly and they're going to sell. So there's going to be these people that, part themselves, from their Bitcoin, a choice. They made so much money from it. So just expect this. But what I would say is, when the big players come in, they look to buy all of it, right? And that's what's happening here. They're looking to buy all of the Bitcoin, right? They will want a Fed pivot. They will want the prices to crash. They will want people to have to, sell their Bitcoin, their Ethereum, and other, crypto assets so they can buy it all up. They want to play in their little sandpit, with their Bitcoin and their Ethereum and other altcoins that are going to get ETFs. They're going to want to play in their sandbox. They're not going to want us participating in it. They're going to be wanting to make all the money playing in their little sandbox like kids, right? And that's what Wall Street and these big players do. So I don't think this would be any different. They're going to shake out as many people as they can, right? So just be aware of that. We've got Metaplanet discloses 1.6 million BTC purchase. Shares jumped 10%. Again, just showing you that people are getting in. And I did talk about, again, another in my opinion correct prediction was when I was saying that expect the regulations in the US to change, right, and for them to do a pivot in how they approach cryptocurrency. It's been very regulated from a negative enforcement kind of approach, and that is something that is going to change, right? I want to be quite clear. We're seeing signs that the US is changing their stance on crypto, and this is a really positive thing. We got Donald Trump commits to championing Bitcoin mining in DC. He's gone as far as saying that basically he wants the remaining Bitcoin that isn't mined yet to all be mined in the US. And I thought that was really, really bullish and really cool that he's talking in that kind of stance towards crypto. The US crypto industry is bouncing back after a rough regulatory year. And this is the stuff that I'm talking about. We are seeing that pivot on the approach of regulatory aspect in the US when it comes to blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. So this is all really positive stuff. I like to see it. Again, it's another prediction. I forget about, we make a lot of predictions here. I forget about them all, but, we are seeing that pivot. It's something that I, was very clear on, right? I expected, these countries around the world to get the regulatory aspects wrong. I think they had, the best interests at heart in most cases, maybe not so much the US. But ultimately, they were going to get it wrong before they got it right. And I think that we are, I guess, seeing that phase in the US that I've been talking about happening, where they have that self-reflection and realize, actually, we've got this wrong. We've got this massively wrong. And they're looking to, make some corrective measures to change that. And I think that's what we're starting to see. I'm not suggesting that we're where we want to be just yet, but I think we are on the path to that, I guess, journey of getting things where they should be. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you think the Fed pivot will happen Q3. Will it happen today? I think it will just be a pause, but really interested to get your views and opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.